Welcome everybody to another morning word. For those new to this, this is where we share a couple-minute video, really to share from my own personal Bible study. Why? Because I wanted to see your life grow. That's it. No other agenda. I just want to see your life grow, because God promises this. He says, I come to give you life and life more abundantly. Now, how do we do that? Well, God says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if we can think like God, there is nothing that we can't achieve. There is no valley that we can't come through, and there's no mountaintop that we can't reach. I truly believe that, because God has done it in my life, and I know he wants to do it in yours. So all we got to do is renew our minds. Now, I've got to say this. I'm not a pastor, I'm not an evangelist. I don't work for the church or someone who fell in love with Jesus and genuinely just wants to take what God's done in my life and see it in your life too. And if we can do that, let's do this. Now, the one thing, please take notes, reread what I've said, look through the notes, and if it makes sense, take massive action. Please don't just listen, but take massive action. So let's get into this. We're going to be reading from the book of Samuel, 1 Samuel, which is the 9th book of the Bible, and we're going to be reading from chapter 4, verse 6 to 7 and 10. And it reads this: When the ark of the Lord of the covenant came into the camp, all Israel raised such a great shout that the ground shook. Hearing the uproar, the Philistines asked, what is all the shouting in the Hebrew camp? When they learned that the ark of the Lord had come into the camp, the Philistines were afraid. A God has come into the camp, they said. We're in trouble. Verse 10. So the Philistines fought, and the Israelites were defeated, and every man fled to his tent. I'm going to call this morning's word, your past victories will not secure today's victories. Your past victories will not secure today's victories. Now, you have to understand, the Philistines had heard the stories of how powerful Israel's God was. They would have heard of all the armies that they were defeated. They would have heard of, them coming out of Egypt and the greatest, most powerful nation in the world at that time, armies being defeated and wiped out. They would have learned of them conquering lands. Okay, so they knew about the Ark of the Covenant. They were like, whoa, we don't really want to mess with these guys, especially when that Ark of the Covenant comes in. There's some power in that. Okay, so they may not fully have understood the God, but they did know that the God that Israel worshipped was powerful to bring, defeat. Now, the Israelites also understood the power of God. And they thought that if they went into war with the Philistines, that they would also win. But what both camps failed to recognize is that what they were talking about was a God of the past and not of the God of the present, because God is a God of the present. So it doesn't matter what happened in the past, it was in the present. Now, in this time, Israel had no relationship with God. So that same power that we saw that Israel and God had together because of their unity to defeat Egypt and conquer lands, that wasn't there. Israel had gone, clear off a cliff. They weren't interested in building a relationship with God. So when it came to wartime, that power wasn't with them. So they were defeated. And we read that in verse 10. They were terribly defeated to the point all the men had to flee to their own tents. Now, what was the principle? You can't rely on your past success to guarantee today's success. You've got to continue to be working on it. In this principle, you've got to continue to be working on your relationship with God. All right? But also, you should be continually working on everything that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, on who you are, how you grow in business. You've got to be working on that day-to-day. So that really leads me to the question of the morning. The question of the morning is this: are you relying on your past to win today? Here's the lesson of the day. Daily, in the present, we must be working on our character, our mindset, our relationships, our faith, our love, if we're going to win today. Okay? Your past victories, your past, doesn't guarantee that today you're going to win. It's what you're doing today that guarantees today's success. So here's the action of the day. Work today on what you need to do, on who you need to be, what you need to be doing so you can win today. God bless you. As we always say with Gen Hope, God's gift to us is life. What we do with that life is our gift back to God. Thank you for watching as always. And all that I ask is that you subscribe to this channel so you get these videos Monday to Friday. But more importantly than that, that you share this video with just one person. Because if you share this video with one person, guess what? We could change a community. And if we could change a community, better than that, we could actually change the world. So God bless you. Thank you for joining us. Lost my voice there. And we'll see you soon for another morning word.